Hello, how's it going? I don't know why I ask a question as though you can respond, but feel free to respond, I guess. How's it going? Let me know, comment down below. I'm Alyssa, I am writing books. I gotta get like an intro that I always do because I just like say the randomest things. I started this channel in February, so I haven't done the whole New Year goals, 2020, whatever the year is, wrap up goal setting situation. It's just exciting. It's just exciting. Today, I'm gonna be doing a tag. I don't know what it's called actually, but Lindsay Puckett, we all know, I love to see, every time. A tag kind of wrapping up 2023, but the questions are like fun. So definitely go check out her channel. She is traditionally published middle grade author, so go check out the books, do all the things. She documented a whole querying process, which like truly I was like crying by the end. So the first question is, how would your main character sum up your writing year? So I don't really talk that much about the actual books that I write, which is strange because yes, this is a writing channel. I talk more vaguely about just like the process and parts that I'm in, but I guess I'll give you some names today. I have two main characters from this year really, because up until November I'd been working on what I'm calling Project Groove, mostly because it doesn't have a title yet, but that is one of the goals, we'll get there. And the main character in that book's name is Eileen. And then the main character of Project Gas Station, which is what I've been working on in NaNoWriMo, is named Danny. Danielle, she goes by Danny. I guess I should also do one for Cal because it's a dual POV book, so they're both adult thrillers. But how would they sum up the year? I'm trying to think of how to answer this question. Because if we're thinking about it in terms of like what I did to them throughout the year, no one's really very happy with me generally. What would they think about my year? I'm gonna do that. Eileen would be very proud of me, I think. We both had the same job. I was a wedding DJ for a while, and really that book was just me projecting about that. And I think she'd be proud of the like movement that I've made this year. Danny would be very annoyed. This is so hard to answer actually. She like is a hostage negotiator technically, and she has a very complicated relationship with like emotion and like how to express emotion. And I think she would be just like watching in horror. If they're looking in terms of like what I've written for them, Danny's gotta be pissed because so I hope that was something. At least that showed you a little bit about who they are. Next question is my biggest writing accomplishment for the year. I don't know, I think for me it is consistency would be my accomplishment. That's not very tangible. I mean, I wrote 3 drafts of Project Group this year, including going through betas and everything. And that is like by far the fastest and most consistent I've been. Like I've been writing every week pretty much. Before this year, that had really not been the case. And I think tangibly, in June, I had a full request on near the end of June. That's what that book is called. That's a book I haven't really talked about very much. It is a book I wrote in college and I've been querying. I got a full request on it in June and it ended up not working out. But the things that the agent that I had submitted to said about the book and about me, and it was just really so validating and so rare and so exciting. So that was definitely a huge accomplishment, was to make contact with the real world of publishing and have them respond to me. Now that I think about that book, if an agent called me right now and was like, hey Alyssa, I'll take your book, I would be like, excellent, how could I say no? But then I would at the same time kind of be like, ooh, gotta go back to that thing. My biggest writing failure. When I first read that, I'm gonna be honest, was struggled to come up with one because I'm just the most successful person and I've never failed at anything, ever. No, okay, but it was hard to think about something tangible because I felt like there's just been a lot of changes for me in the last year. Well, just a few, I guess, but writing has been the thing that has gone the best, I think, for me this year. In terms of all the things that I've done and focused on, writing was the most consistent. It brought the most joy, but I think probably the one thing I have not done very much of this year is like actually try to build community, which I know is so strange because I built this community. And so I don't talk about like I'm not speaking about my online writing community. I'm talking more like in person. Like I really made it a goal to like go to writing meetups and like talk to people and like start a writing group and go to all these things. And that was one thing I tried a couple times and it's not something I could stay consistent with. So I would say like finding that sort of regular in-person writing community. And now I'm at this point where I'm like, I don't know if I even want to do that, but I probably should. And also just like generally spelling is always my biggest writing failure. So we can count that, right? A meme that encapsulates my writing year. You know that TikTok where it's the guy and it's like at some sort of gymnastic parks and he like falls and hits a mat and then another mat falls on top of him and then another person falls on top of the mat. I'll just show it here if I can find it. I think it exemplifies a lot of different ways. I think it can show like my characters being hit over and over again by me. It can also be me like every time I would go into a draft, I just felt like every time I was like, oh my gosh, draft 2 is gonna be so much easier. Oh my gosh, draft 3 is gonna be so much easier. Fast drafting is gonna be no. Another mattress falling on top of me, right? What is my favorite video that was published in the last year? Okay, this is hard because my favorite like channel thing that I did was definitely NaNoWriMo. I did daily vlogs for NaNoWriMo and that was something I had like looked forward to all year and I was so excited about it and it had a lot of fun doing that and it helped me grow a lot too. So that's the main thing. But when I think about individual videos, I did one in June or July that was about flow state and finding flow state, and I experimented with Pomodoro or doing like 90-minute deep work sessions. And I remember feeling so productive during that week. So that one, and I also liked the structure of the video too. I think the video just turned out pretty well. Okay, I hate this one. I'm sorry, Lindsay, but a line that I wrote this year that I'm the most proud of, I don't know. So I was even looking through to try and see, but I was realizing about myself that it's not that I don't write lines that I'm proud of. I'll often write a line and be like, oh, slay. I write thrillers, and thrillers are not known for having the most like fluid prose. Like when I think about what I'm good at as a writer, the sentences are never my first thought. My first thought is always like the plot and how the plot comes together and maybe a character moment and a conceptual like plot thing that hooks together in a cool way. The sentences themselves are something that I always really struggle with. I always do a pass. It's near the end. I'm actually about to do it with Project Groove, where it's just about the lines. Like I read it and I'm looking at like, okay, is that sentence good? Is that piece of dialogue good? Does it serve a purpose or do I need to like make it stronger or shorter or whatever? And I haven't done that pass at all this year because I've just been working on the first 3 drafts and then another first draft. And I'm about to do that dialogue pass. So I haven't really paid much attention intentionally to the lines themselves. See, the lines that I'm thinking of are not like by themselves good lines, but it's in terms of like the paragraph that came before and then like a nice like cinchy, like one of the lines I was looking at is, literally this is what the line is. It's, I don't call Dylan. And that line itself, like, who's Dylan? Why do we care? Why? Who, what, where, when, why? But if you are reading the whole scene up to it, that line is like, like, well, I hope it is anyway. I feel that way. So I'm gonna count that. Is that okay? Is that allowed? Let me know. What is a writing or publishing or video making skill that I've learned? I feel like I've learned a lot this year. I don't want to keep coming back to the same thing, but I feel like consistency and just like getting over myself and sitting down with the page even when I'm not in the mood. I think that there's a line between overworking yourself or burnout and like laziness. And I don't say that to say that anybody who is struggling with burnout or overwork is lazy, because that is absolutely not what I mean. I actually burnt out, not with writing, but with my job. And that's kind of, I ended up moving jobs this year for a variety of reasons, but that was one of them. So I know how real burnout is and how much that impacts you and is so real and can become like a physical thing. So I don't mean to say that to discredit anybody where they are. I know for myself, it is so easy to talk myself out of writing by using those kind of words. And I'm like, what? Girl boss, no. One thing I've gotten better at is just identifying in myself if I'm at a place where I really am just too tired and shouldn't write, or if this is a momentary bout of, I don't want to do it because it doesn't sound easy, and pushing through that. So I think the skill to sum that all up is Assertive self-awareness with my own creativity and creative well, and being able to really like connect with that a lot more and see when I can actually just write or when I need a break, and being able to identify that. So, and I'm pretty sure that the next one's gonna be what skill would I like to learn or work on in the next year, 2024. Oh my gosh, for writing, it is timelines. The timelines of like, not me writing the book, but like what happens in the book. Like, does it happen in a month or a week or a year or 3 days? I don't even know. I don't know, I never know. And I'm, every time that someone's like, what day is it? And I'm like, I write that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have absolutely no idea what day it is. What are some of my channel and writing goals for 2024? So I'm gonna do another video, it might be next week or maybe closer to the new year, which is next week now that I think about it, but it's fine, about like my specific writing goals for 2024, like kind of my plan for the year. So I'm not gonna go too in detail with that because I just have a little bit more plans. I have a lot of schemes and plans going on, but I think generally querying Project Groove is my main goal, and getting a couple solid drafts into Project Gas Station. That's kind of I want to have a cycle where about every year, I'm not gonna like look at the calendar and be like on January 1st, no, like about every year or year and a half, I'd like to 4 or 5 drafts into another book, like at a point where it's almost ready to query. So I'd like to switch books I'm querying. Hopefully I won't have to do that very many times, but I know that stat about like, it's usually the 3rd book that you query that ends up, or whatever. I just know that it has to be the right book at the right time. And so the more books that I write, the better I become and the closer I'll get to having that book that's ready to be published, you know? That's kind of my mindset too. Who knows, maybe I'll open my email tonight and already have like, oh, we'd love to offer you a 6-figure book deal. And I'll be like, excellent, wonderful. But that won't happen, obviously, because that's not how publishing works. But that's my main goal. And my channel goal, I have some thoughts about that too. I want to do some live stuff. I'm very afraid of live, and I have always thought that I'm going to wait until I'm a little bit higher in subscribers to do live stuff, because I just have this fear that no one will be there, which is fine because like I can't expect everybody to be available at the same time. But I just have this like apprehension towards live, but I think I'm just gonna like get over that and start doing it, even if nobody's there, because I can talk to myself. This is what I'm doing right now. And also, okay, listen, I've talked my talk about short form content. I've talked my talk about it, about how it destroys our brains and all that stuff, which I still firmly agree with, but I think I'm gonna start doing a little bit of short form content. Not a lot, not regularly, but just some. I don't know, to vary, to reach more people, that kind of thing. I do work in like video marketing, so I'm very aware of all the statistics about how good it is for growth, blah, 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 whatever. Those are just some of my thoughts for 2024. What is my main character doing at midnight on New Year's Eve? So I think that, Danny is probably on shift because she doesn't want to. No, I know where Danny is, but I can't tell you, because it would be such a spoiler. She's spending it with the people that she loves. Like small gathering, like not with a lot of people, but just with the few people that matter, and probably like watching the ball drop and really reminiscing on the year and intentionally making new memories with her family. I can't even tell you anything specific about that, but. And Eileen, I think it depends. At the beginning of the book, that version of Eileen is out partying. But she doesn't want to be there, and she's very much the mom of the group, and she's very much like, you guys, this is so dumb, like watching out for people, watching people's glasses, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the book, she's still out, but she's actually like feels comfortable enough to really have fun, and maybe she's in a different environment, not so clubby, but it's still out, maybe at like a classy bar, thinking about her goals and plans for the future with someone. I'm fangirling about things that none of you even know about. So, and they did come from my head, which is kind of wild. Anyway, I hope I did that correctly. I don't know, but that was a fun tag to do, so thank you, Lindsay, for making that. It's more fun than just your classic, like, this is how my 2023 went. That is all for today. Make sure to check out Lindsay and all of her amazing things and order all of her books and do all the good things, If you are new here and you're not subscribed, frankly, like, I would love to chat with you more. I typically do Sundays is more of a vlog and Thursdays is more of a sit down chat like this. So see you in the next one.